Device maintenance can be very costly if your district is not prepared to meet these financial needs as they surface. You must be ready for unexpected expenses. As with many programs you seek to implement at your site, you want to seek support from your County Office of Education. Through my interview with Dr. Laura Spencer, Director of Technology for the Lakeside Union School District, I learned that a group at the county level called JPA, which stands for Joint Powers Authority, has been quite instrumental in saving the Lakeside Union School District lots of money in reference to student iPads that are in need of repair. And I have included a link in case you want to find out more about the Joint Powers Authority. The Joint Powers Authority negotiated with LUSD's insurance company in order to acquire a $0 deductible. For example, before this negotiation took place, if a student's iPad had a cracked screen, the school district would have to pay a $100 or $150 deductible. Thanks to the negotiation between JPA and the insurance company, now it is free to get those damages repaired. Many districts are charging insurance to parents to cover any device-related expenses. However, California is a free education state, and legally, parents should not be charged for any fees. Instead of passing on the insurance costs to parents, Lakeside Union School District was able to work together with JPA, and as a result, device maintenance repairs are now free. This arrangement also helps more families feel comfortable with the idea of their child having an iPad in their hands, not just at school, but at home as well. Without this type of insurance, many parents who do not want the financial burden or responsibility that comes with using a device would probably opt out of allowing their child to bring home such a device, defeating the purpose of trying to provide all students with equal access to technology to develop the 4Cs and digital citizenship. Another helpful service that Dr. Laura Spencer plans to start in the near future to support the new one-to-one rollout program involves setting up a dedicated phone number line where parents and students can call after school within a certain time frame and get their questions answered. Offering this type of over-the-phone ongoing support helps students and their families relieve any frustrations that may come up while using their device at home. This is not to be confused with a homework helpline. Dr. Laura Spencer is envisioning someone from the tech team, for example, being available to answer calls starting maybe half an hour after school dismissal and having an open window of maybe an hour and a half to help students and their families with any tech issues that may come up. Dr. Laura Spencer also pointed out that iPads have less issues than laptops and usually it's user error, so most issues can easily be solved over the phone, but if necessary they will go out to the student's home and see what the issue is. Updates will be done every summer. Students will be asked to return their devices at the end of the school year so that the school district can run updates and do anything else that needs to be done in order to keep the iPads running smoothly. There will also be designated days where teachers will be asked to tell all their students to upload the new iOS update. For example, the school district can control what happens through the MDM, which stands for Mobile Device Management, which controls every iPad in the district. Through the MDM, the district can turn on or off students' ability to upload any necessary updates that come during the school year. Now we move on to content and curriculum training for staff. Dr. Laura Spencer says that she looks at the Common Core Digital District Framework to decide which type of training to provide for staff throughout the school year. This framework has 3 specific areas of focus, which are creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. As you can see, the 4 C's are embedded in the specific areas of focus. There will be 1 day of training before school starts to go over the digital framework and see what it looks like. And it's not just the Common Core standards that have to be taken into consideration, but also the ISTE standards. Common Core and ISTE standards together equal engaged learning. Through PLC time, you can also provide ongoing support to train staff on the new technology. Tectosas are also a wonderful resource for teachers to contact throughout the school year, and they model lessons for the teachers and provide guidance so that teachers know how to integrate technology in a more effective way, and remembering the whole time that it's not about the tools but about the content and the objective, and then deciding which tools can support instruction. Having recorded lessons on the district's haiku page are available to staff for them to view at their convenience are also a very, very valuable resource. And these recorded lessons should be teachers who also work within the same school district and, whenever possible, within the same campus as the rest of the teachers. That way it's someone that they can relate to and somebody that they can have access to if they try something in their classroom and it didn't work out the way that they thought. They could go to that teacher for guidance and see how else they can implement the strategies in their classroom. And another possibility that Dr. Laura Spencer was looking into is the option of having webinars throughout the school year in order to keep teachers updated and show them new resources and communicating and offering more support. The replacement program for depreciating devices has not been a strength in many school districts, including Lakeside. They have a 3-year bond. However, that doesn't give a long-term sustainability, because at the end of the 3 years, how are they going to continue to fund the need for replacing the devices? And so they need to sit down together with the new assistant superintendent of business and see how they can set money aside in order to plan ahead for unexpected expenses. And being able to conduct your research and finding statistics such as knowing that 4% of the devices break every year on average will help you determine how much money you should have in some sort of savings account in order to continue to provide sustainability for the devices. Which leads us to the LCAP, because if you have the language embedded into the LCAP, then you have more security that the program will continue to be funded. When you put certain items in the LCAP, you increase the likelihood of the school district continuing to fund, in this case, the one-to-one program. And one example is Haiku Learning Management System. It is a paid subscription, and who's going to pay for that? When you include it in the LCAP, then the district is committing to fund it. And you should also have benchmarks, not just your 3-year goals, but your 3-year goals should be supported by the benchmarks that you create for your school district. One example of a benchmark could be, by year 1, 20% of teachers will create haiku pages. Another benchmark could be, by year 2, 60% of teachers will create haiku pages. At the end of each year, you reassess the situation to see if the goals have been met. And benchmarks help you measure your success. You can't just hand out devices to every student and say your program is successful just because every student has a device in their hands. You have to set some benchmarks that take your digital framework into consideration. By meeting your benchmarks, you have evidence of how your program is being successful. You also increase teacher buy-in when you put certain items in the LCAP, because if teachers see that certain programs are in the LCAP, then they know those programs will be around long enough for them to invest the time, energy, and effort necessary in learning how to use these programs. And it's not something that's just going to disappear halfway through the school year.